In Linux, software is typically installed using package managers like apt, dnf, or yum. However, there are times when you might need to compile software from source. Compiling from source is essential when you need a specific version of software that isn't available in your distribution's package repository, or when you want to customize the build to suit your system. Compiling software from source requires several steps: downloading the source code, configuring the build, compiling the code, and installing the software. The steps involved: download the source code, run /configure to configure the build, run make to compile the source code, run make install to install the compiled program. Let's go through each of these steps in detail. Downloading the source code. Before you can compile software, you need to download the source code. Source code is typically distributed in compressed tarballs, .tar.gz, .tar.xc, .zip. These archives contain all the necessary files needed to build the software. Example, let's say you want to compile the latest version of a program called example app. You would download the source code using a command like wget https://example.com/downloads/exampleapp-1.0.tar.gz. Extract the tarball. Once the download is complete, you'll extract the archive. tar xef exampleapp 1.0.tar.gz. cd exampleapp 1.0. Configuring the build. /configure. The /configure script prepares the source code for compilation. This step ensures that the necessary dependencies are available on your system and configures the build according to your environment. The script checks for libraries, compiler options, and other components required by the software. Basic command /configure. Common options for /configure. You can customize the build process by passing options to /configure. Some useful options include prefix =path/ to /install specifies the directory where the program will be installed. For example, if you want to install the software in /usr/local, you would run /configure prefix =usr/local. Enable feature or disable feature enables or disables specific features of the program during compilation. For example, to enable SSL support, you might run /configure enable SSL. With library, specifies that a particular library should be used. For instance, if the program depends on the OpenSSL library, you can specify its path. /configure with opencil =usr/local/opencil. Checking for errors. If any necessary dependencies are missing, the /configure script will return an error listing what's needed. You'll have to install the missing packages or libraries using your package manager. For example, if libcildev is missing, you would install it like this: sudo apt install libcildev. Compiling the source code. Make. Once the configuration is complete, the make command is used to compile the source code into binary executables. This step involves converting the human-readable code into machine code that your system can execute. Basic command. This command will begin the build process based on the configuration settings from the /configure step. During this process, you will see various lines of output as each source file is compiled. What happens during compilation? The make command reads a file called makefile, which contains rules and instructions for how to compile the software. Object files .o are created, and then these are linked together to create the final executable binary. Installing the compiled program, make install. After the software has been successfully compiled, the final step is to install the program. This is done using the make install command, which copies the compiled binary files to the appropriate directories, like /usr/local/bin or /usr/bin. Basic command. Sudo make install. This step requires root, administrator, privileges because it often places files in system directories. Using sudo ensures that the necessary permissions are granted. Installing to a specific directory. If you specified a custom directory with the prefix option during the /configure step, the make install command will place the files in that directory. For example, /configure Prefix =opt/example app. Sudo make install. In this case, the program would be installed in /opt/example app instead of the default directory. Compiling software from source is an essential skill for system administrators, allowing you to install software that may not be available in package repositories or to customize software for your environment. By mastering the steps of downloading, configuring, compiling, and installing from source, you gain more control over your system and the software running on it.